Welcome to Module 6. This week we're going to start talking about you. So previously we've been talking about how the world is making decisions, and now we're going to bring it back around to ethical consumerism, otherwise known as what decisions are you making every day in your life that are actually causing problems within the world. Start thinking about it. I am not asking you to feel super guilty about every single thing you do, but if we start talking about little purchases, we all know these ads pop up. Do we buy it? Another thing pops up in front of us. Are we buying? Are we buying? Are we buying? Are we buying? So that's where we have to start figuring out what you can do in order to make a difference. What is actually in your control? I am not expecting anybody to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but if you have the choice of buying something fair trade, for example, do you do it? If you have the option of saying no to a purchase, do you say no? And that's where we have to start thinking about it. Right now, fast fashion is huge, and people are buying and buying and buying and buying and never wanting to wear the same outfit twice. But what we really have to start thinking about is what can you do to reuse items? Thrifting and vintage, I've always loved. I love the fact that it's cool now. So can we move more toward that or toward fixing items rather than just buying a new one? So when we start looking at it, what can we do in order to repair things, in order to reuse things, in order to buy fair trade, in order to make ethical decisions when it comes to the things that we're choosing? When you start doing this is where we can start seeing how human equity comes into the picture. That fast fashion item, which may be great that you get for $5, if you're paying it for $5, somebody made that for what possibly could not be a living wage. And that's why we want to make sure that we get the things that we need, not always what we want, but the things that we need in a fair way for everyone. We need to make sure that people get fair wages and decent work. We need to make sure that all people get basic needs. We're talking about clean water, affordable energy. We're talking about making sure that everyone gets the things they need. And of course, how education can start making a difference. We're lucky when we think about our education. I know that each one of you is struggling in order to find the time, in order to find the money. But in many areas of the world, people have to skip school in order to basically survive. And that's where we need to start looking at what can we do to get that equity to everyone? What can we have to get everybody the things they need? And how can the things that we do on a daily basis start making a big difference? This week, I'm going to ask you guys to be honest about what you're doing right or wrong. First, I want to make sure that you actually take a look at some of those required resources. Some of those readings and some of those videos are really going to bring that home for you when you start thinking about everything that's going on with celebrities flying everywhere and how much of an impact that's happening. Take time to do the Global Footprint Network calculator and figure out how many Earths you would need in order to survive, in order to keep your things going. And take a look at the plastic industry. While I recycle my plastic all the time, I know that we might be lying to a little bit about that. And take a look at ethical consumerism. See how those little changes you can make a difference. Then I want you to look at something that you use every day. And I want you to take a closer look at how bad that is. So whatever that may be, is some suggestions here are your smartphone, favorite streaming service, pair of jeans, fast food meals, chocolate cake has a lot more damage than you might think it does. Or using AI and seeing how damaging those databases are. So when we start thinking about those things that you use, I want you to investigate a product you use every day and take a look at how damaging that is. Again, this is not to make you feel bad. It's to make you all realize how things can make a difference. Just looking at the environmental costs of one t-shirt can be huge. So take that time to look at something and see how that affects the world. And then we're going to actually have you guys do an assignment where you're going to start looking at how that makes a difference and see if you can come up with a solution. I want you to identify a problem in your community. I'm sure you can find some way in your community that someone is wasting resources. And I want you to put together a pitch to make a difference. I want, again, make sure that it's fitting that triple bottom line are those three facets of sustainability that we're always talking about. So see how you can make changes to make that fair for everyone, to make sure it's economically viable, and of course, something that is going to be an environmental improvement in your area. I want you to figure out how to find that balance of equity and economics and environment. And again, do a quick pitch to somebody in your town, whether it be someone who makes decisions or your town itself. So I'd love to see what you've got going. And please feel free to use the video note feature, because I want to see you as much as you maybe want to see me. I hope that you really enjoy doing this week. I really hope that you enjoy bringing it home and seeing how you can make a really big difference in the world.